Hey, what's up, Slunts? Joker here. Gears of War Ultimate Edition has just launched today on the PC, which I know is probably coming as a shock to many of you, because it certainly came as a shock to me, being that there was almost no marketing whatsoever for this game leading up to launch. We did get those system requirements recently we talked about on the channel, but we didn't get an actual release date along with them. We had just kind of alluded to the fact that it may be coming sometime in spring 2016. And if you guys have been following along with me, you know that I'm a big-time fan of this Gears series, and ever since they announced the game last year at E3, I've just been over the moon waiting to hear more about the game. But because they've handled it so poorly, at least on the PC, we've just got no details whatsoever. And now here the game just finally comes out for 30 bucks on the Windows Store exclusively. It is only on the Windows Store, so know that ahead of time going into this. You can only get it on that Microsoft Store, and that really is where a lot of the issues are beginning for users here on the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, at least on the PC. If we look over at the Gears of War forums, there's a locked thread from TC Pez Raider, who has started a thread here showing some of the known issues like downloading and the AMD performance, which is really one of the biggest issues right now. AMD is getting absolutely hosed across the board on this game. Like, holy shit. Like, man, like it's bad for everyone, but AMD is by far getting butt-fucked the worst. Like, by all means, don't even bother spitting on it, because this game's going in dry, fellas. AMD performance in the toilet. Going to be showing you some videos here now of benchmarks running on the Fury and the Nano. This is not my gameplay here. This is from Jason Evangello over at Forbes, who also has an accompanying article on how bad the performance is for AMD users. And I'm going to post links to all of this down in the description below, so be sure to check that out. And it's really funny, actually I shouldn't say funny, it's really a fucking tragedy, because just a few months ago there was an article over on WCCF Tech where the PC developers were saying, don't worry about the Gears of War version, fellas, you don't need to worry. Well, we don't need to worry, huh? Well, what about now, fuckers? Do we need to fucking worry now? I think we might need to worry now. And like I said, I really don't blame the developers on this. I completely blame Microsoft in this doing implicitly. I'm pretty sure it's all Microsoft's fault. Maybe Coalition has something to do with it, but man, I have to think that Microsoft had to have been the driving force behind this to get this game out right now. I mean, we didn't even get any marketing for it. It's like they just wanted to get something out, to just have something DirectX 12 out, to get something out into our hands. But now it's just come out and it's a nightmare. So, like, what the actual fuck? Like, did you think this was going to work? Did you think this was going to curry favor with the PC community at all? To reintroduce yourselves after the disaster, the nightmare, the horror of Games for Windows Live? Do you not remember Games for Windows Live? This is the way you want to redeem yourself from Games for Windows Live, with the Windows Store. You want to use the Windows Store. Okay, let's jump into the Windows Store, shall we? So Ars Technica has a fucking humdinger of an article. Once again, gonna link to this down in the description below, but quoting them, they say, those that forked over for the Windows Store version, and this is referring to Rise of the Tomb Raider, but what they're talking about here refers to any game purchased on the Windows Store and restrictions as a result of it. So this applies to Gears of War as well. So keep that in mind. Those that forked over for the Windows Store version were disappointed to find a host of limitations, including not being able to turn VSync off, no SLI or Crossfire support, and no .exe file that can be loaded into Steam for use with its overlays or big picture mode. It continues on to say the latter also means that players aren't able to override the game's VSync or SLI Crossfire settings using the NVIDIA Control Panel or Catalyst Control Center. Other issues include locked game files, which limits modding, being forced to play in borderless full screen mode, FPS overlays like Fraps refusing to work, and mouse software that creates custom binds for each game not working. So pretty much the epitome of what you would call like a bad PC port is just now ingrained into the Windows Store like firmware. It's like, hey, if you could imagine a game getting the worst port possible, just imagine that and put it on the Windows Store and you get it by default. It's like built-in fucked up firmware, okay? That's the Windows Store for you. So until they get this shit fucking sorted out and they get everything, fixed out in the Windows Store or allowed the game to be sold on other platforms, that I cannot give it my blessing. I have bought it, I'm downloading it on my Windows 10 test system, and I call it my Windows 10 test system because that's exactly what it is. Because I will not put that fucking cancerous fucking AIDS virus into my goddamn PC. I have to have a dedicated testing system for your fucking STD of an operating system, Microsoft. Yep. That's my piece. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. Gears of War Ultimate Edition on PC. Really wish I had better news for you. Really wish I do. I fucking love Gears of War. Absolutely love it. I mean, I want to be just pissed off. I know I'm just disappointed, man. I'm really fucking disappointed. You just let me down. God damn you, Bill Gates. God damn you. You and your glasses. Did you not realize that, you know, I know you're Windows and all, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to run in windowed mode. That wasn't meant to be taken literally. Just saying.